Hello, folks. We are going to be looking at Hurricane Gloria in this hurricane short summary. This is a hurricane that I have already mentioned in my 1985 Atlantic hurricane season video. Pardon my dogs for barking if you can hear them. They're playing inside. Gloria was one that I just went over in brief, as I do with most of the just notable hurricanes in a season video, just because if I went over them in more detail, then we end up with this video, which is what I'm doing with Gloria now. Gloria had a relatively complicated life despite the simplistic looking path, with it starting as a tropical depression on the 16th of September to the direct south of the Cape Verde Islands of, Cape Verde. uh, Gloria would actually become a tropical storm twice, with it being hindered a fair bit out in the middle of the Atlantic. However, it was first observed becoming a hurricane finally on the 21st. This coincided with a abruptly sharp turn more to the north instead of it heading to the near direct west. And then finally on the 24th, Gloria starts to intensify rapidly, and then it just peaks on the very next day. Gloria peaks at, we now know, 145 miles per hour at a pressure of 919 millibars. It was originally estimated that Gloria had reached 155 or even Category 5 wind speeds. However, this is not the case, fortunately. Granted, it wouldn't really have done much out in the middle of the Atlantic, more or less. And if we exclude looking at the Caribbean Sea and the Gulf of Mexico as being part of the Atlantic, Gloria has one of, if not the lowest pressures in the entirety of the Atlantic. Even including these two, the Caribbean Sea and the Gulf, Gloria still has a very, very low pressure, although it is not indeed first place. It is at least like 6th to 10th, something like that. Gloria would, however, due to pretty large asymmetry in its wind field, subside to just 90 miles per hour within 72 hours easily. Gloria essentially almost tore herself apart here. However, Gloria managed to finally regain control of herself, I guess, and struck Hatteras Island, North Carolina, very late on the 26th of September at 105 miles per hour. Gloria at this point is moving very fast to the north, and so strikes Long Island just the next day at 85 miles per hour, and within the hour strikes Westport, Connecticut, or at least near Westport, Connecticut. Gloria was deemed extratropical very shortly afterwards and was last tracked on the 2nd of October, merging with another low pressure system in the upper Atlantic Ocean. Gloria is ultimately responsible for the deaths of 14 and $900 million in damage. This path, by the way, does indeed make Gloria a Cape Verde hurricane, a type of hurricane that forms closer to the Cape Verde Islands. As we can see, she formed to the direct south of them. So, yeah, not in the main development region. Gloria would have effects that were lesser than expected, thank goodness, albeit that would not stop the impacts that I will talk about here in just a little bit. At least 27,000 people would be evacuated due to Hurricane Gloria, this just being in Connecticut and I believe New Jersey alone, or it was Rhode Island or something. Well, one of the states around there, you know what I mean. Um, the lesser effects were twofold. Number one, Gloria moved very, very quickly to the north, so that lessened impacts the less time you have being affected. And number two, it almost tore itself apart, which decreased its strength significantly, as I just mentioned. So that is a very good thing in terms of the impact, as obviously you don't want a Category 5 impacting anywhere unless it's going to be some fish that presumably deserve it. So, This would not stop a storm surge of close to 7 feet in New York. Well, I guess closer to 6.5 feet, but still. Gusts of up to 115 miles per hour, that's category 3 strength, recorded also in New York and around New York City. Gloria left around 1 million without power. This power in New York City itself, if I'm not mistaken, took up to 2 weeks to restore. The maximum rainfall we saw was in North Carolina at 9.7 inches. Despite this, not being feet upon feet of flooding, it's still very significant. So, with that, I've hoped that I've proven how Gloria is deserving of her own video, but there's even more on top of that. Gloria became the first system to strike New England, the New England region, since 1972's Agnes, and became the first system to landfall on Long Island directly since 1960's Donna. So it had been a while, which is a good thing. You don't want hurricanes striking all the time, looking at you, Florida, or any of the Gulf states, unfortunately. Also, interestingly, Gloria caused Harvard to close for the third and ultimately final time in the entirety of the 20th century, which I don't even know what the other two instances are, but I'm sure I'll find out because now I'm curious about that. Gloria's name would be retired, and also Gloria would lead to the creation of the Canada Hurricane Center. There were unfortunate issues in terms of forecasts and models and also communication between America and Canada that led to the creation of the Canada Hurricane Center. So it is very good now that Canada has that, albeit Canada isn't too impacted by hurricanes, thank goodness, as it should be. And folks, that is all that I have for Hurricane Gloria. I hope that I've proven to you how Gloria is a hurricane that should not be forgotten, and I thank you all so much for watching.